This is a bit of a different type of video, so it's not as fact-based as some of my others, but hear me out. Touhou, as we know, has some really good music. But as I've listened to many songs in the series, I've had some random thoughts about different songs. None of these thoughts could really carry an entire video, so I just decided to put some of them here. Here's some Touhou Music Musings. A theoretical leitmotif. So in Touhou, we do have some leitmotifs in the series. While only used 3 times, Zun's tied theme of Eastern Story to the bamboo forest of the Lost. But then, there's some parts of songs that people think might be leitmotifs, but wouldn't make much sense without a bit of a stretch. For example, this part in Sega's theme kinda sounds like Necrophantasia. The best theory I've read for this is that Sega's a necromancer, but I still think it's a coincidence. There is, however, another song that I do think could have a purposeful leitmotif, but I haven't heard many people talk about it. Touhou 16's title, Hidden Star in 4 Seasons, refers to the goddess Okina, who's trying to show off her power from the shadows. From using her power, we see the Komano statue On brought to life fully. She has a very energetic and playful theme that eventually reaches this section. Later in the game, when you fight Okina in the extra stage, Okina has this theme. It sounds like that section from On's theme. Okina is the reason On exists, so I think it would make a lot of sense for her theme to be embedded into On's. And in addition, Okina's first theme seemingly has a homage to Yukari since they're both sages. So, the idea of her second theme having a leitmotif doesn't come from nowhere. But despite sounding similar, the two sections in Okina and On's theme aren't really an exact match. On's theme varies and notes more, while Okina's keeps the same set throughout. Zun also doesn't write about this possible connection in the music log like he does for, say, Bamboo Forest of the Full Moon. So, I don't think you can really confirm a connection, but it's still interesting to look at. Also, shoutouts to this commenter Katie McKinney from the Scarlet Flame Flandre upload. They are the only other person I've seen bring up this possible connection. The Touhou 4 stage theory. So, some Touhou games have unused music, but Touhou 4 specifically has a lot of unused songs. While Touhou 2 and 3 both have 2 or 3 unused songs each, Touhou 4 has 6 fully unused songs. And these songs aren't slouches either. One of these songs, Magical Shop of Raspberry, is so good that Zun joked that he cried over having to axe it. Now here's the thing about Touhou 4. This game has something unique to it that isn't shared across any of the other non-multiplayer mainline shmups. Reimu and Marissa both get their own individual Stage 1 themes. The rest of their stage themes are shared. Are you seeing where I'm going with this? Now, of the 6 unused songs, we have one meant for stage 1 and another meant for the credits. The remaining unused songs are for stages 4, 5, 6, and the extra stage. So here's a thought I've had. Maybe Touhou 4 was originally meant to have unique stage music across all stages for Reimu and Marissa. The unused stage themes were cut for not fitting the moods of stages. But Reimu's stage 1 theme sets a different mood compared to Marissa's stage 1 theme. Under the context of having stage themes tied to characters, the idea of unique music per character seems plausible. But, ultimately, I think this isn't the case. Thanks to the cutting room floor, we can take a look at Touhou 4's trial. In Touhou 4's trial, you can view songs in the music room and... Here, we can see that some songs from the final game are missing. Alice Mastera, Dreamland, and Arcadian Dream aren't in, but their unused counterparts are. But Incomplete Plot and Magical Shopper Raspberry, the unused Stage 5 and extra stage themes, are missing from this list as well, with the final game songs, Lotus Love and the Inevitably Forbidden Game slotted into their places instead. So at this point, ZUN was already scrapping songs and making new ones to put in the game. While the unused songs do raise the idea of ZUN possibly trying to have different stage themes for each character, I think it's a bit unlikely. Since some unused songs were still in the trial, and others were replaced, it seems like ZUN truly did just want one song per stage, and was figuring out each mood he wanted for the themes one by one. But, it's still fun to imagine a world where this idea happened. Could you imagine if that set a standard of unique stage themes per playable character for future Touhou games? That would have been crazy. Also, if anyone ever does a Lotus Land Story remake or port, having different stage themes for Reimu and Marissa optionally would be a cool way to pay tribute to the unused tracks. The Touhou CD stage theme. If you listen to Touhou 8's stage themes, you'll notice that they're all really energetic and bombastic. Except for one. Illusionary Night, Ghostly Eyes is Touhou 8's Stage 1 theme, and sticks out compared to the rest. It's quite a bit eerier and more atmospheric. Well, as ZUN says in the music room, this song is a part of Ghostly Field Club, so many of you might know about it. Ghostly Eyes is, with some Decimal Game exceptions, the only stage theme to first appear in a music CD before a game. Ghostly Field Club released December 30th, 2003, and Touhou 8's Trial was almost 4 months later, April 18th, 2004. So that means ZUN grabbed a song from a CD and put it into Touhou 8, right? Well, the game was likely in development while the CD was being made, so it could have been made for Touhou 8 first and the CD later. So that brings up the question, was Ghostly Eyes composed for Ghostly Field Club, or Imperishable Night? Originally, I had an entire speculative section going over why this song could have been made for the CD, or why it could have been made for Touhou 8, but we actually do have an answer. If we go to ZUN's old webpage for music CDs, we can scroll down to Ghostly Field Club and see the origins of each song. And for Ghostly Eyes, we have Touhou, latest work, currently under development. Huge shoutouts to Spear for finding this and showing it to me when I was asking around. This information, as far as I'm aware, isn't documented in English. Even the wiki says, it's unknown if the song was made for the CD or Touhou 8, when from here, it seems like it was clearly composed for Touhou 8 from the start. And away from the website, just listen to Wriggle's theme. I don't know if there's any other boss stage theme pair in the series, save for like some of the stage 6 ones, that match together so well. So, we can conclude that Ghostly Eyes was likely composed for Touhou 8 Imperishable Night. Mystery solved. Those were some of my Touhou Music Musings. I presented a theory I had about a possible leitmotif, debunked a cut content thought, and took a look at an almost 20-year-old Touhou music mystery. Again, quite a different video than usual, but it was fun to make. There's plenty of other interesting Touhou music mysteries and theories, so if you have any you want me to talk about, or if you just want to talk about them, please leave a comment. Thanks for watching. This video was voted for by my $6 and up patrons.